Hey Delmarva, happy hump day!
Hey!
Can you believe it's Wednesday? Welcome to Coast Life and thanks for joining us. We're your hosts. I'm Paige Marley.
I'm Leah Rizzo, and if you're not following us on our socials yet, make sure you do that because we like to have the conversation that we have here with you.
Yes, we keep the conversation going all day, 24/7 online. It's a lot of fun. The comments, they're a fun place.
They are a fun
Yes.
place, and they're a fun place for you to respond to, sort of things like this, these kinds of conversation topics, like maybe you're sitting down with your love bug and you're trying to figure out what to watch on TV.
If it's 4 o'clock, you shouldn't have a question of what you're watching.
Well, right, obviously
Right.
at 4 o'clock it's Coast Life,
Right.
and nobody disagrees about that. But if it's not 4 o'clock,
After, before, yeah.
you're sitting down to decide, and you just can't quite agree. You're duking it out, and maybe you're doing it 4 times a week because that's how often the average couple disagrees over what to watch on TV.
You know, at first I was like, that is so dramatic. And then I thought about it. It makes perfect sense. It does.
I mean, a lot of times couples don't have the exact same taste in TV. Like, there's definitely a lot that both my man and I like to watch together. But I definitely have, like, my shows that he has no interest in watching.
See, he thinks we have my shows and his shows. But once we turn on those, like, reality shows, you know the kind I'm talking about, he's like, this is dumb. And then 20 minutes in.
They get invested.
Yes. Wait, she's dating him now? And she threw her under the bus, and this person's fighting. It's amazing.
They get more into it than you do.
Oh, I love it. Yes. And every man is like that. For some sort of reality dating show, I'm talking Kardashians, just leave it on for a little bit. You'll see them cooking in the kitchen like, what's happening? Yeah.
Love is Blind. They're like,
Yes.
who's dating who in the pods?
Yeah, exactly. You're suddenly like, hey, want to watch the finale together? And he's like, I've already watched it. You know? Yeah. Always. Yes, always.
You can pick the girliest, frilliest sounding show.
Yep.
And there he'll be.
They love it. We know if you're in a relationship or if you've ever been in a relationship, you probably have this conversation. So let us know how it goes for you. Of course, like we said earlier on our socials, we want to hear from you.
Yes. Another conversation that we were having before we got on the air that we found very interesting is, and I think this is something that, again, younger people tend to fall victim to, especially in your early 20s. You're starting to explore your adulthood. You're like, I got my own money. I get to spend it how I want. Do you end up spending more money with your friends than you would when you're solo?
Oh, yes. Yes. You feel a little more inclined to get maybe the second drink if you're with your friends, or I don't know, you don't, if they all want to go to a second place, you want to go to, you don't want to be the one that's like, well, I have to go home now. I'm lucky I have great friends where if one person is like, guys, I don't get paid this week, we're all like, let's go home.
Yeah.
But we've all been there where you can feel a little pressured.
Yes, it turns out many members of Gen Z and probably the younger end of millennials are actually cutting ties with some of their wealthier friends because they can't keep up financially, which I just like, that's such a hard position to be in. I mean, I definitely have some friends that make pretty big money, and now that I think about it, they may have dumped me. But that's obviously not for money reasons. I think that's just my personality.
No, they are just busy.
Yes, that's it. That's the one.
Yes.
But I understand the financial pressure, and I guess it's especially when they do want to go on big trips, and I find it actually more so sometimes with my family, because like that's harder to say no to, especially because they'll be like, oh, we'll cover this for you, we'll do that, and you're like, I just don't want to get in a situation where I owe anybody, especially family, money.
Definitely. Yeah, with friends too, it can be like that where you don't want to be the one that says, oh, let's stay back or let's stay in tonight, but you also don't want to be the one that they cover all the time, even if they want to. I have a friend of mine, one of my best friends. I don't know how she's doing financially, but she acts like she has the money to spend, and so that can be hard too.
Yeah.
You know, some people just, they're big spenders.
Yeah. I feel like we need to like kind of fall back on sort of when you're kids and like you do play dates at people's house. We just need grown-up versions where everybody just chills at home. Maybe you do a little like wine and cheese. Everybody brings a little something, a little potluck style.
Perfect. We should hang out.
I agree.
Okay. Y'all want to hang out? Got plans this weekend?
If you don't, swing by the COASTLIFE set. We'll just hang.
It'll be cheap.
Yes.
No money needed.
Exactly. And one more thing that we might want your input on. How reliable are your first impressions of somebody when you meet a new person?
God, mine are so bad.
Really?
So bad. I wish I was better at first impressions. Almost every single person I have met that I'm like, oh, I love this person, I'm going to trust them completely. I was wrong. And the opposite too. Some of my best friends, I've met them and I'm like, ugh. And now they're my best friends.
That's awesome.
I'm terrible. And they know it too. I've told them, I'm like, oh God, I didn't like you at first.
Yeah, I don't know that I've ever been like completely fully duped by somebody that like I didn't feel. I feel like I'm now actually acting on trusting my gut is something I'm struggling with, where I'm like, I get sort of a feeling about somebody and I'm like, all right, well, we'll see. Maybe my first impression is wrong and then it'll turn out to be right. And I'm like, stupid, you didn't listen. Pay attention to what your gut is telling you.
Yes, I need to do that too. Although I say that, but really, I mean, I always feel like it's good. And so I actually tend to have to listen to my mom or my fiance. They always know, but I'm very sorry to all my besties who I've told you, I didn't like you at first. At least I'm honest.
Well, now you're besties, so
Yes,
it's not that
exactly,
big a deal.
exactly.
But we've got a great show planned for you today. You know our friends at Preston Automotive are always up to something. We're going to tell you about the car show that they have coming up.
And you may have heard the story about a kid in Lewes who, after a tragic accident, got his leg amputated. We caught up with him, and we are going to tell you his incredible story.
And we know you like shopping and helping out locals. That's why the Angola Bay Craft Show is coming in to tell you more about their wonderful event. All that and more is headed your way when Coast Life gets back.
Coast Life is brought to you by BB Healthcare, Coastal Comfort Heating and Air Conditioning, Preston Automotive Group, and Shell Brothers.
All right, Coast Life, so you may remember it was about a month ago, some really tragic news in our local community. A young 3-year-old named Zeke, after a bad accident, lost his leg. This happened after he fell off of his dad's lawnmower. His leg ended up getting amputated. A tragic story, like we said, but there is some good news. We caught up with Zeke very recently. He's doing fantastic.
Good.
Yes, especially for a 3-year-old who just went through all of that.
Oh, gosh.
Yes, we were there when he got to meet the Lewes Fire Department team who really saved his life. Yeah. So take a look at us catching up with Zeke. 1 month since the worst day of his short life, Zeke Clark met the people who saved him. The first responders who saved his life made him an honorary fireman for the day, even giving him a Lewes Fire Department patch.
It's kind of just happened so quickly, you know. It was just like he was with me and then he was under the lawnmower.
First responders say Zeke's dad, Jonathan's actions were critical. He jumped into action right away to save his son's life.
You know, I just kind of sprung into action and, you know, was able to lift the lawnmower and throw it off of him, and then I just reached down and grabbed him and ran towards the house and threw the door open and was yelling for my wife to call 911. And while she was on 911, I was just bought these pants for work that had like this nylon belt that wasn't like your traditional belt. It was more like a rope. And so I just yanked that out and put it around his leg and just put a tourniquet on and tightened it as tight as I could get it, and until everyone started showing up. Everyone that showed up was amazing. Like, they were there so quick and just came in and did their job, put their tourniquet right over top of my tourniquet, and, you know, was able to get him loaded up and out of there. And it's less than 10 minutes, probably. I mean, it was so quick. And then they just took him right to the airport and flew him right on the helicopter.
He toured the fire station, checking out the trucks, equipment, even looking inside the back of an ambulance. Zeke remembered a month earlier when he was in the back of that ambulance.
Oh, I get about running in the
Do you remember going in the back?
Yeah.
You want to see in the back? Look, see, that was your little bed that you got to go in, remember?
No, that
Came
one?
right to the house and
No.
they picked you up and put you right on the bed, and then they took you to the helicopter.
But lives are now changed forever. Zeke is getting used to his new way of life, and his dad has stopped working to be home with him. That's why they say the continued community support has meant so much.
Well, I just want to say, first off, thank you to all the community that's helped out so far through our helphopelive.org fundraiser that's ongoing, that anyone can still continue to support there. They just have to go on to the website and search for Zeke Clark, and then you can donate that way. And there's also going to be an event on August 5th through St. Peter's Church that people can also donate there as well.
Such a sweet kid. And I think it's important to emphasize too that really, I mean, of course our first responders did a great job, but the real first responder there was his dad.
Yeah.
They said a few times while we were there, his dad really, by jumping into action and getting there right away, really saved his son's life. So very cool. Dad of the year.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. And I think like you said before, where he just went into like super dad mode, where like you
Yes.
block everything out and the only thing that's important is getting hope for your kid.
Yes, definitely. And we're going to have some more information on coastlife.com about how you can donate to the family, how you can support them. So if this story touched you and moved you as much as us, definitely make sure you head over there to learn more. You can do that right now while you keep watching Coast Life, because we still have a lot more to come. Stay with us. Here on Coast Life, we always like to keep you updated with maybe new happenings, new places to eat, all that good stuff. But we also want to keep you updated on what's going on in our local community and how you can help. That's why today we have Saul Knopf with us. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you. Thank you guys for having me.
Of
Appreciate
course.
it.
So you may recognize this man right here. You play music locally, a musician, but we're here today to talk about something that happened to your family recently. If you don't mind sharing your story with everyone.
Sure, sure. Well, our son Brandon and his wife Maddie, our daughter-in-law, and two of their friends, Aaron and Andy, are in a band. It's called Year of the Knife. And they play real heavy metal, and they're well known all over the world. So they were touring out west, and they got into a terrible car accident in Utah. They did a show in Salt Lake City, and had devastating injuries. So our daughter-in-law is the one that's the most injured. She's got terrible brain injuries and multiple fractures, and she's even having surgery today to fix her jaw, and broken bones in her face and everything. So she's got a long road ahead of her to recover. It's an ongoing thing. So we've been trying to raise money for these kids because, well, they're not kids, but 25.
They're your kid.
And then you know, our son Brandon and his wife are 31. So what we're trying to do is raise as much money now so that they can concentrate on healing and concentrate on rehabilitation. She's going to have to learn how to do everything again. Talk, feed herself. If we're fortunate enough for her to walk again, you know, and so forth. So that's what we're trying to do, is we're trying to raise money for that.
So give us a few more details about tomorrow, the when, the where, what people can do to help.
Right. Well, for those that don't know, J.D. Shuckers is on Route 24, John J. Williams Highway. It's in the Peddler's Village Shopping Center. You're gonna have to get there early. Even without, you know, doing a benefit, it's always packed there. Of course, they'll be seating people all night long.
Sure.
And I think they're basically just going to donate a percentage of the night.
Great.
And that's going to be, and I'll be singing from 5 to 8.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So people can just go, enjoy a good meal, listen to some live music, and know that their money is going towards helping your family.
Exactly.
Great.
Exactly. And then those that can't make it, the kids have a GoFundMe. And so if you go to GoFundMe and you just click in Year of the Knife,
You'll find it.
you'll find it.
Okay, great.
You'll find it. People all over the world have been supporting that.
What has the community support been like so far? I mean, I
my
know
God.
that you guys are local, but they're across the country.
Oh my God. Well, the band plays in Europe, they play all over the world. So there's been an outpouring of that particular genre of music like I've never
They're
seen.
devoted fans.
Like
They're
I've
good
never
fans.
seen before. It's unbelievable. And then our community as well. You know, Shell Brothers, who is a builder locally,
Oh, yeah.
we had to find a furnished house for Brandon to stay, my wife Tony to stay, Maddie's mother, Michelle's there as well. We needed to find some kind of a furnished house close by. Shell Brothers donated 2 months worth of renting this house for them, and we're talking thousands and thousands of dollars. And that's just one example of local people in the community, people who even have come out to other gigs and they've got an envelope and I open it up and there's $200 in there, $300 in there. Friends of mine who are touring musicians who you know, donated $1,000. It's just been amazing. It really has. It's been very emotional for it to all happen. So our community, when we need to step up, not only around the world, but this community here has always been tremendous.
Definitely. That's one of the first things I noticed when I moved here was the community support. You have something like this, it's a tragic accident, but it puts a lot of things into perspective for people.
It really does.
And they, like you said,
Everybody
come
drops
together.
everything just to support somebody.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what we love about the Delmarva Coast. So I'm glad you mentioned the GoFundMe link, so if people cannot make it tomorrow to JD Shuckers, they can support online. Any other way they can support you and just what you're trying to raise money for.
Well, I mean, if they're not into doing the online thing, a lot of the people that follow me are older, and they're not going to go online and stuff like that. So if they want to come to some of the gigs that I have and donate money that way, then we try to filter it to the kids through their GoFundMe or just directly to their accounts or whatever, and that's kind of how we're doing it. And of course, my wife Tony's out there. She's a dog groomer. Her business has been shut down since July 1st, and she has expenses out there too. So people have said, listen, we want to help the kids, but we want to help you guys too. So, we're not soliciting that, but, people can have helped us that way too.
That's great, though. Anyway, any little bit helps. I know you mentioned thousands of dollars from some people, but if you have $1 even.
Exactly.
It'll go anyway.
People have donated $5.
Great.
And I mean, it's just
Every little
the
bit
kindness is it's so moving.
Good. Well, I'm sorry that happened, but I think we're really happy to see that there's ways to help and that everyone's coming together for you, and especially Maddie.
Right.
Great. Well, we're looking forward to tomorrow.
Thank
let
you
us know
guys.
if you go, please, and make sure you take pictures and let us know how the event is. But for right now, we have some other great ways you can help the community, other ways you can get involved on Coastal Delmarva. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Here on Coast Life, we love keeping you updated with all of the cool, creative events happening in our area. That is why today we have two seagulls with us. We're introducing you to Kathy and Lenore with Angola by the Bay. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Of course. So I told you we want to keep you updated with really cool events. So tell us, you have a great event coming up this Saturday that people can go to.
Yes, we're sold out as far as our vendor capacity is concerned. We have over 100 vendors with a wide variety of different items they'll be selling. Handcrafted woodworking, jewelry. We have some artists that'll be selling paintings there. We have a couple animal groups like the Just Us Cats and the Humane Society. They'll be selling items for some fundraising there. We have a gentleman that is coming in to do knife sharpening. So if you have anything that needs to be sharpened, you can bring anything along with you. And we have our men's group will be selling their lunch. That'll be available for all the customers and visitors that come.
And this is for the craft show.
Yes.
48th annual.
Yes.
48 years. What keeps bringing people back to the craft show year after year?
It's a local favorite, and at this time of July, we're in a tree-shaded grove, so it's nice to be out in the blazing sun, so that, is one of the reasons it's popular. And we have a great mix of vendors. That's important to have a good variety.
If you got any like birthdays or graduation gifts, or maybe even do some early holiday shopping, you're not going to find any more unique gifts than you will at the craft show.
That's right. Can you tell us a little bit too? I know you mentioned artists are going to be there. What kind of things can people really shop for?
Well, we have a woodworker that makes the cornhole boards, and we have driftwood art. We have pottery, stained glass, we have a watercolor artist, we have a mixed media artist, so a big variety of different things. And then we have a fabric artist, doggy clothes, and just kitchen towels and all kinds of, anything made out of fabric, you'll find it there.
So give yourself plenty of time to shop.
Yes.
Is that what you're saying?
Yes,
Okay, great.
and you have to go around a couple times to catch everything.
Yes, you do. Yep.
I like
Scout
taking
it
a few
all.
trips. Yep.
Yes. Look around first and then go back for what you want. Exactly.
Exactly.
And I went to this event a couple years ago too. I remember the Owls, your men's group.
Yes.
They make really good food too.
Yes.
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 So come hungry.
They get the girl fired up, and they make their hot dogs and provide a lot of sausage. I don't know if it's what all they offer, but they have a nice lunch.
Yeah.
So
great.
it's a nice break.
Yeah. And do proceeds from the craft show go to a specific, I know you're always giving back, but a specific charity, or is this going to go to your overall mission?
Every year we give to a few certain charities locally, and then every year we also evaluate a group. So we have a couple that come back every year, you know, from the membership that they are interested in giving to.
Very great. And if someone is interested in being a Seagal, they want to give back as well, how can they do that?
Well, Seagal membership is our community. You either need to live in our community or own a home in our community.
Okay.
And we're about 90 members strong.
Wow,
so
great.
It's a large group.
Yeah.
It's a fun group also.
Great.
And if people want more information on the craft show, the when, the where, where can they get that?
Well, it is this Saturday, July 15th from 9 to 2. And there is a phone number, 302-549-4877. They can call for information, or they can email abtbcraftshow@yahoo.com.
Perfect. Sounds great. Well, really looking forward to it. Thank you for letting us know more about the craft show and of the amazing work that you're doing.
Yeah, we hope to see you all there.
Definitely. Of course. We have a lot more to tell you about with great events and other amazing work, locals supporting locals, coming up on Coast Life, so don't go away.
You're watching Coast Life, and today I'm at Preston Automotive in Millsboro, Delaware, that not only sells great cars, but has events that the whole family can enjoy. Join me as I talk to the Doc and Scott about their upcoming annual car show. Attention car lovers of all ages. Preston Automotive in Millsboro celebrates their second annual Summer Send-Off Car Show. Last year, the car show displayed cars throughout the community, raising $14,000 in proceeds to benefit the pastoral care at Nemours Children's Hospital. This year, the car show has a twist, not only for the adults, but for the little ones to enjoy as well. A car show showcasing their very own Power Wheels.
So this was actually Doc's idea. You know, the big car show out here is great for the grown-ups, but getting kids involved, he said, why don't we do a kids car show? I was like, what do you mean? So pedal cars, push cars, Power Wheels, anything like that, bring them out. It's free. The idea is for the kids to have fun and show off their cars and get together and interact. There's going to be trophies for the kids, and on top of that, I think we're getting little dash plaques for them too, so they'll get to bring something home.
And just like anyone else that's going to be in the car show for, you know, the normal car show for their show cars, the kids want to take pride of their vehicles as well. So if we can show that off, you know, and kids say, hey, look at my car, you know, I think it'd be a great event for the community, and that's what it's all about. It's all about the kids. It's a community event in general, but at the same time, we want the kids to have a special part in this event.
Giving back to the community is Preston's mission, as this year's proceeds support the Good Old Boys Foundation.
Yeah, so the Good Old Boys is an excellent foundation. They're local to us, and they help out local families. One of their guiding principles that I really identify with is that every child deserves a chance. And what they do, families that are in need, they help those that can help themselves. But families that are in need, if they've got children battling illness, they help sponsor a lot of Christmases, and they do disaster cleanup. If a family has a fire and needs that help getting back on their feet.
Parents fear not, because there's something to keep all the kiddos entertained.
There's going to be a lot to do. We've got Parsons Farm bringing out the petting zoo this year. There's going to be some little goats and stuff like that. A lot more bounce houses this year, and a huge Touch a Truck event. So for the kids, there's going to be a lot of stuff to keep them entertained for a good portion of the day.
For adults looking to show off their vehicle, registration is $20 and begins at 8 a.m., but be early as spots fill up fast.
And when we mean by get here early, I mean, last year, I would say 30 minutes in, we were at full capacity. We actually had to find place for other show cars. So we definitely want you guys to show up early. And I know you guys like to take care of your cars, so we have plenty of real estate. We have a huge dealership here. But however, we want you guys to get here early.
Yeah, so registration is going to be day of. Get here early. We've got room for about 200 cars here. The first 200 cars registered will get dash plaques. We've got some great judges this year. We've got Barry Adkins coming out, and Greg, and a couple guys from our body shops will be judging. So everything's going to be fair. It's going to be based on show and shine.
They would also like to thank their sponsors for making this event possible.
Delaware Army National Guard, Millman Appliances, Weidman and Townsend, the attorneys at law, those are our big sponsors this year. On top of that, different businesses that have been making those donations have been a huge, huge help. Sunday, September 17th, please bring your family out. It's going to be a great time. Gates are open to the public at 10 a.m. We're going to have lots of food and beverages and treats. Rita's is going to be here for ice cream. But bring the family out, enjoy the event, and help us raise some funds for an awesome cause.
For a recap of last year's summer send-off with Preston Automotive, visit their YouTube and their Facebook.
For a recap, go on our YouTube, look for Summer Send-Off Community Car Show 2022. You get to see a recap of what we did last year, and also our Facebook page, second annual Summer Send-Off Community Car Show on Facebook as well. So there's a lot of our vendors that we post on there to give them, recognition, and also our sponsors are on there as well. And overall, any type of updates that we have from the car show is located on that Facebook page as well.
Check out Preston and Millsboro's Facebook to see local vendors or any event updates. There's more Coast Life on the way.
This segment of Coast Life was brought to you by Preston Automotive.
When you're out driving around coastal Delmarva in the afternoon and you're a big fan of country music, you're probably familiar with the voice of this guy. It's Gary from The Ride Home on Coast Country. Now, Gary, tell me a little bit about The Ride Home, your show. What can listeners expect if maybe they're new to your show?
Well, I always say there's 4 rules to The Ride Home. They're all, we don't take ourselves seriously. It's really just about having fun. I mean, there's so much stress and strife at the end of a work day. The last thing I want to do is throw heavy stuff at you. So we make up silly top 10 lists, and we play Would You Rather on Wednesday. And then I make requests every afternoon at 5 o'clock. We call it the High Five. I pick a theme.
Yeah.
Like one day it was asphalt. It was the anniversary of asphalt's patent, so we did like songs about roads or lanes and stuff like that.
Clever.
So, just super fun. I like to smile and always look at the positive side of things. So that's kind of what I want my show to be about.
Yes, and if you didn't know, before Coast Life, I began my broadcasting journey in radio. So there's a lot of strength in local radio that you don't get from your streaming services. It is games like that. It's the company of our friends like Gary here.
Right.
Now, in addition to fun games, great music, you also have the opportunity to win some cool stuff.
There's nothing cooler. You and I have been doing this a long time.
Yes.
There's nothing cooler than being able to hand the keys to a new vehicle to a listener of one of our radio stations, and we're going to do just that this December. So this is a long contest. We're calling it Free Truck Fridays.
Oh, yeah, I like the sound of that.
So every Friday this month through November, we're going to be giving you a chance to qualify. The easy way to do it, you listen to Big D and Bubba every morning between 6 and 10. They're going to tell you what our Free Truck Friday song is for that week.
Okay.
Then every Friday between 10 a.m. and 6 p.m., whenever April and I play that song, wait till it's over. Then you call that number again, which is 443-971-1063. If you're caller 10, you're qualified to win that truck.
Yeah, so cool. Yes. So we threw a lot at you. So Gary, one more time, if people can get contest info and details in writing, it might be easier for them to write it down.
Absolutely. Easiest thing to do, go to our website, coastcountry.com. On Facebook, it's just Coast Country 1039 and 1063. We are at Coast Country FM on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. So follow us on those platforms and you'll get all the latest details, or just keep listening and you'll find out everything you want.
If you've been hanging around for a little while, this studio may look a little bit familiar. Maybe the first time you heard my voice on 102.5 WBOC, Delmarva's hit music station. And I'm hanging out with Sarah from the afternoons. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you? We've missed you in this studio.
I miss being in this studio, but I've been hanging out on Coast Life lately.
Okay,
and
I guess that's okay.
Exploring Delmarva's coast, getting all of our viewers and listeners to be big local music fans. And tell me a little bit about what listeners who may tune into 102.5 expect.
So this summer has been so much fun. We just did our big ticket blowout where we got to send listeners to go see Taylor Swift in Philadelphia. Yeah, it was a great show, sold out.
I think local radio has a lot of strengths. Again, one of that being that when you hear some of these contests for big concerts like this, you're thinking, oh, I don't stand a chance. Sometimes any of those concerts where you have to text and win, you may hear some of those.
Oh yeah, no.
They're a lot harder to win than it is at a local station.
So my biggest thing is the concerts here and everything like that, all of our winners, no matter what it is, gift cards or anything like that along the nature, they're all from Delmarva. You don't have to worry about it. It's not a national contest. It's local contesting for local people.
So also maybe, you know, somebody's new to the area or they're new to listening to our stations. What can people expect with your talent lineup in the morning to your show?
It's fantastic, fully loaded. We have Petch in the morning. He's on from 6 to 10 and he's doing some phenomenal things. He is really driving people to call in and be a part of it and making it your show. And he has a lot of fun doing it, whether it's with his group therapy or Am I a Jerk, or which of course, you know, that's the way he rolls. Stinson, he's the sweet boy of the group.
We love Stinson.
Stinson is on from 10 to 3 and he's so sweet. He does Working Woman Wednesday where you can nominate a hardworking woman for an amazing prize pack every week, and he's been working very hard on that, but you also can have some fun with him because he is a DJ, a real life DJ. So he has the Remix Rewind starting at noon to 1 where it is some really fun dance music. And then, you can actually tune in with me on your ride home. I always got you every day from 3 to 7. And, you know, we talk about everything between like growing with your relationships, your life, having a kid, everything.
Yeah.
You could be a part of it.
It's just a good way to unwind from a stressful work day.
Absolutely.
So where can people go to get sort of that contest information, maybe more lineup information?
Everything's on our website, WBOC1025.com.
Maybe you like to start your morning with some breakfast, a cup of coffee, and a little bit of classic rock. You may know this voice of Steve Mons from The Rock Shop on Big 107.7. So I always have a love in my heart for local radio because there's a lot of things that you get from local listening that you don't get with maybe nationally syndicated programs, which there are a lot of, unfortunately.
Absolutely. That's one of the things we pride ourselves on, is having that voice for people who are stuck in traffic. Believe it or not, we do have traffic, like if a chicken truck turns over or things happen. The drawbridge was just stuck open in Salisbury, and so we were there to tell people about that and get them around those problems. So that's beach traffic this time of year, live and local. You need it.
Yeah, so what can people expect when they tune in to the Rock Shop?
Well, we have the standard things. We do have news, weather, and traffic, which everyone expects, and you need that to get your day started. But we also give you your favorite classic rock songs. And they're songs that we've all heard a million times. However, I kind of tell you the stories about how the songs came about, or what movies you've heard them in, or different things they've been used for. So kind of a different take on it.
Yeah, I know we sometimes hop in the time machine, right?
Yep, the big time machine takes you back. We go back in time. We literally go back to events in history, and we usually wrap it up with something in music history.
You also let people play along with your socials as well. Sometimes you post a theme for the day and people have to pick music. How does that work?
Right, that's one of my favorite ones. We do the big 3 at 7 a.m. And what I do is I pick a theme, and then listeners have to pick songs that match the theme. And we put it on Facebook the night before at 6 p.m. so they have 13 hours to kind of figure it out.
Nice, and people can listen online as well, right?
Absolutely. You can actually find the link right there as well on our website. You can also check us out on Facebook.
Awesome. Well, Steve, thank you so much. And who else is in your lineup for the day on Big? It's you.
Oh my gosh, and we have our midday show, which is great, with the Big Hairy Lunch with Charlie.
Yes.
The Big Hairy Lunch is all your favorite hairband requests. And then we get you home with Union Jack, which is our bit of British invasion in the afternoon.
Yes, I have listened along to Union Jack. He's a fun time. He's got some fun bits on his show as well.
And we are live and local all day long.
Awesome, love it. Well, thanks for once again letting me get all up in your space and tell us about some of the good contests and things that you got going on.
You're always welcome here.
Oh, don't make that invitation. Don't go anywhere. There's more Coast Life on the way.
All right, Coast Life, I want you to think about your job for a second. How long have you been doing it? Could you or would you do that job and be with the same company for 50 years? It's definitely something to celebrate, and someone on Delmarva is celebrating 50 years at their job. She works right here at Draper Media. Nancy McGinnis is kind of like a grandma to many of us, definitely a leader to everyone who has walked through the doors at Draper Media. We want to celebrate with Nancy. She doesn't love the camera, but we definitely want to celebrate her accomplishments. So Please celebrate with us.
I met Nancy on my first day of work, and we were both dropping our babies off at Tiny Tot at that point. Nancy's a people person. When she first came here in '73 and started working, she was a receptionist, a people job. It was part-time at that time, and then she went on to work in accounting, traffic manager, so on. And then she started working for me in 2000. She worked in accounting again. But she really excelled when I put her into HR. She loves people, she wants to do for everybody, and she excelled in that position. That's where she should be and where she should have been from the whole time.
I call Nancy my work wife because she takes care of me. But not only does she take care of me, she takes care of every employee at Draper Media.
A lot of the younger ones that come through kind of need a motherly figure to help them through things. I mean, they don't get a lot of it anymore in college, you know, how to dress, how to prepare for a job. Sometimes they're just scared or have issues that they need to deal with, and she helps them through it.
When people think of WBOC, they think of all the people like me that were on the air. And there is a small army of people behind the scenes. And Nancy is truly one of the unsung heroes behind the scenes who very quietly gets things done that have to get done. And the world of HR has gotten really complicated since when we first started. And she has rolled with the punches and done a phenomenal job. The thing that a lot of people don't know is that, you know, Nancy started here when she was 6. I started here when I was 12.
For 50 years, she's dedicated her life to not only this company, but to serving the people of Delmarva. I mean, for 50 years, she's been part of the fabric of this company. So she knows everything about our history. She knows everything about people. She cares. She'll know your children's name, your wife's name, your grandchildren's name. She'll remember birthdays. I mean, that's a special person to be able to do that, especially with a company this large.
I can just always remember Mom saying, it took 4 people to do the same job I was doing. That's the type of person she is, though.
Never complained, you know, just always, it's always been work, you know. She's always loved it here.
I mean, to work somewhere for 50 years. Most people don't even hold a job for 50 years, not alone the same job.
She is very, very humble, doesn't like the spotlight, is probably dying that this story is on the air. But it's much deserved.
People don't work in one place for 50 years anymore. It will never happen again at Draper Media. I don't know that it'll ever happen again in any company in America. So if you think about that, that's her life. She's devoted her life to this company.
I would love to envision us being on the beach, being around the pool. We're both sun girls and we like the beach. So I don't care whether we retire or what, we'll always be great friends. She's just that type of person. She's been involved in most all of my life events over the last, 38 years, so that's a big deal.
Nancy, on behalf of the Draper family, thank you for 5 decades of service. We appreciate your dedication, your hard work, and the care that you have given to so many of our team members for the past 50 years. Congratulations, Nancy.
Please help us in congratulating Nancy online and on social media. Nancy, thank you for everything you have done for all of us over the last 50 years, and congratulations. We have a lot more to celebrate. Stay with us on COASTLIFE. Okay, COASTLIFE, you know what time it is. It is almost 5 o'clock. Yeah, but don't forget, we still want to keep up with you after the show's over. So head to social media right now. I know you have your phone, get it, okay, follow us, and then let us know, are you good or bad at first impressions? Are you great like Leah or like me?
I don't know that I'm great at first impressions. I feel like I'm good at recognizing whether or not I really like someone or not based off their first impression. My first impression, who knows?
Ah, I see. That makes sense.
What do you think?
I gotcha now. Oh yeah, and I'm curious what kind of first impression I give off. Don't tell me. Please.
No, I feel like you give a great first impression.
Tell me off camera. for when I cry.
No, there won't be any tears because you give a great first
Thank
impression.
you. You do too.
Thank you.
Thanks. Aww.
Well, don't forget, we also like to plan out your weekend plans. If you haven't made any yet, the Angola Bay, the craft show, the arts and crafts show that they have coming in, that's going to be a great opportunity to do some shopping, support local organizations, charity organizations, and again, if you got a graduate on your hands or somebody's birthday coming up, or you're just really ahead of the game with that holiday shopping.
I am.
You're not going to find any more unique gifts than you will there.
It's true, and I'm telling you, I don't joke when it comes to hot dogs. The hot dogs there are so good. They really are. Go get a hot dog, some chips, and a Coke.
Sometimes it's the best meal.
Oh, it's
honestly
so good. It's amazing. So let me know when you go what you bought and how you liked the hot dogs.
Yeah.